Well, this morning, our service theme is in the topic of Mourning War, Seeking Shalom. And this is, I'm seeing oh, there it is. Okay, good. This is a very different kind of service. We'll be having a lot of our traditional elements will be through kind of the first and the beginning and the ending will be more of what we normally do. In the middle, there'll be some very different pieces. But as we enter into this time, just encourage everyone to take a deep breath. This last week, for many of us, has been a really challenging time. Sometimes entering into the space of Shabbat is not easy during times like this. And so just take a deep breath. Know that this is Shabbat, that at this moment we have no other place to be, nowhere else to go. This is our time to be together. Also, would encourage folks, we would love to have, if anyone would love, if folks would like to join us for some of these readings, we'd love to have folks take turns doing the readings. So would anyone like to unmute themselves and do this first reading? Hine Matov.
I can do that.
Okay.
How good are the dwellings where we gather, secret, oh, serene and vibrant as the gardens by the river, the aloes and the pleasant cedar tree beside the water. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for people to dwell together in harmony. Do you want to set the tune for that?
And then I'll go ahead and sing this, but encourage folks to, if you want to mute yourselves, but please sing along.
My tune is Sayad.
Tohu manahim shever amim gam yakad hinema tohu manahim shever amim gam yakad hinema tohu manahim shevat amim gam yakad hinema tohu manahim she'umanahim Shevet Amim Gam Yakad. And who would like to read this one? Starting with who would like to read the English side?
I'll read that. And we, humanity, choose to keep a day of rest as an agreement for all time. For in 6 days we work, and on the seventh we cease from work and are refreshed.
Do we have anyone who would like to read the Hebrew side? Actually, we can sing this one.
Okay.
Veshomrim b'nei Adam et hashabat lasot et hashabat ledotam berit olam veshomrim b'nei Adam et hashabat lasot et hashabat ledotam berit olam ki sheshet yamim Asu Melaka, Veshomrim, dan Veshomrim, Bnei Adam, Het Hashabat, Lasot Het Hashabat, Ledortam Berit Olam, Veshomrim, Bnei Adam, Et Shabbat leasot et Shabbat Omrim b'nei Adam et Shabbat lasot et Shabbat ledortam berit olam ledortam berit olam Uvayom hashvi shavtu
Have your settings taken care of.
Omrim b'nei Adam het hashabat lasot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam. Now I'm going to take just a moment and turn off the screen share. I can get back over to that. There we go. I encourage you to take a moment to look at on the pictures of everyone who's on camera today. and to just wish them good intentions, and to just take this moment to appreciate that we're all together in community, even though we're across the world, literally. We have folks from Panama, from Europe, from Australia, from North America, and just embracing the miracle that we're all together. And technology and all the human beings, frankly, that came together to make it possible for us to be together today. Let me go back to the share screen. So we bless the community which blesses us. Blessed is the community which blesses us forever and ever. Would someone who can read Hebrew? Would someone like to read the Hebrew side?
Sure. Baruch atah Baruch atah Hamoed.
Baruch HaKakala Amverak Leolam Vahed. And now we have our version of the Shema. Who would like to read this?
Listen, Yisrael, our people are one, humanity is one. Let us work together to improve this world.
Shema Yisrael, Echad Amenu, Adam Echad. Kulanu Navod Letakein Et Haolam Hazeh. And would someone like to read the Ve'avta?
And let us love our fellow as ourselves with all our heart, with all our soul, and with all our might. And let these words be always upon our hearts.
And would someone like to read or sing the Hebrew?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha v'chol avavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'yihiyu ha'devarim ha'ele alevavcha tamid.
Amen. Impressing them upon our children, reciting them when we stay at home and when we go out, when we lie down and when we get up, binding them as signs in our hand, serving as a symbol on our forehead, inscribing them on the doorpost of our homes. And would someone like to read the Hebrew? Oh, on the doorpost of our homes and on our gates. Would someone like to read the Hebrew side?
Okay, I'll do it if no one else is coming forth.
Thank you.
Vishinantam levanenu undaber bam b'shiftenu b'veitenu uvlechtenu vaderach uvshachbenu uvkumenu ukshartam laot al yadenu v'hayu latotafot bein einenu uktavtam al mezuzot beitenu uvisharenu.
This we believe to be true. Humankind is capable of redeeming itself from its troubles. Through our efforts, we heal disease, feed the hungry, lift up and free the downtrodden. We can achieve liberation through reason, compassion, and working together with trust in one another, with faith of a better future for all. Blessed is the light and humanity with which we redeem the world. Now I'm going to stop the screen share for a few minutes. We're going to take a moment of silent reflection before we go on. The next part of our service is going to start on a little bit of a heavier note, but then we'll over it change a little bit. But just take a moment to reflect on what we just read. This idea that we do believe that humans that are capable of making the world better, and with the implications of that. I'm now going to turn the screen share back on for this next part. So this will be a pretty big change of tone, but I wanted today's service, our themes are mourning war and seeking shalom. And so for this first part, I want to take a moment to just appreciate in some way the gravity of what's happened in this last week. The first thing I wanted to share was just a sense of the numbers of who has been killed and wounded in Israel. And these are the latest numbers as of this morning. Over 1,400 have been killed, 4,834 wounded. An estimated 212 were abducted. 2 of them have been released, thank goodness. And there's between 1 and 200 missing. In the Gaza Strip, it's estimated that 4,385 have been killed and 13,000 wounded. Inside Israel, it's estimated 1,000 of the Hamas militants were killed. In the West Bank, it's estimated that 81 have been killed and 300 wounded. In Lebanon, an estimated 28 to 30 have been killed. And then depending on whose estimates you believe, around 1 million Palestinians thus far have been displaced in Gaza. And some reports say that up to 500,000 Israelis have been displaced, mostly in the south of the country. I also wanted to share this morning, we have the names of those who have been taken hostage in Israel. I'm not going to read their names because I'm not confident of pronouncing them correctly, but I just wanted to show their names on screen as a remembrance of what these folks are dealing with and our hopes that they will be returned safely. So I'm going to scroll through these just for a moment here. And so in remembrance of these people, of all of those who have been killed and wounded in the coming days, we have this reflection, this liturgical poem of remembrance, and this is something Martin put together. So what I'd like to do is like to have a couple of volunteers to take turns reading, like this first paragraph here would be in English, and then someone would read the side in Hebrew, then go back to the English on one side, the Hebrew on the other. Let's do, would there be a couple of people that would volunteer, one to do the English side, one to do the Hebrew side?
I'll happily do the English.
Okay, awesome. And
Do the Hebrew if nobody else.
That'd be great, Phyllis. Thank you. By the way, I appreciate
Okay.
your patience with my Hebrew. It's not so great, so I appreciate that you can do the Hebrew better than me.
Sure.
So. So go ahead then, for whoever who is doing the English side.
May his memory be peaceful. May his resting place be peaceful. And let all the congregation of his community say, may peace come, and may his memory be for a blessing.
Zikaron Shalom Tehei Zikarono. Ravitzat Shalom Tehei Ravitzato. Ve'imru Kol Kahal Adato. Yavo Shalom Zikrono Livracha.
Alas, his presence was suddenly gone. Eulogize him, all the people of his household, and let all the congregation of his community say, may peace come, and may his memory be for a blessing.
Hoi ki pitom hishlala shechinato Siftu lo anshe beto ve'imru kol kahal adato yavo shalom zikrono livracha.
As it is written, and those who are wise shall shine like the brightness of the sky above, and those who turn away to righteousness like the stars forever and ever.
Kakatuv. V'hamaskirin yazhiru kizahar harakia umatdike harabim kakochavim leolam ba'ed.
Amen. I now have a, let's see. We now have a poem, and this was a really powerful one that I came across in preparing for today. So we're going to play this. This is from an outdoor street festival thing, but it was where poetry was happening in public space. So I'm going to turn off the screen share for a moment. For this next piece, and this is one I'm going to sing, but what I'm going to do is I meant to do a slide for this and I didn't do it. So I'm going to put the lyrics in the chat because I think they're pretty powerful. And I want to welcome you if you'd like to, of course, with mute on, but we encourage you to sing along if you'd like, because this is a powerful, powerful song that expresses just the gravity of war. Oh, it's not letting me post something that long. Let me do it in chunks. Okay, there are the lyrics. So. If the war goes on and the children die of hunger and the old men weep, for the young men are no more and the women learn how to dance without a partner, who will keep the score? If the war goes on and the truth is taken hostage and new terrors lead to the need to euphemize, when the calls for peace are declared unpatriotic, who'll expose the lie? If the war goes on and the daily bread is terror and the voiceless poor take the road as refugees, when a nation's pride destines millions to be homeless, who will heed their plea? If the war goes on and the rich increase their fortunes and the arms sales soar as new weapons are displayed, when a fertile field turns to no man's land tomorrow, who'll approve such trade? If the war goes on, will we close the doors to heaven? If the war goes on, will we breach the gates of hell? If the war goes on, will we ever be forgiven? If the war goes on. now wanted to take a few minutes here in this space of Mourning War to open up some space for us to share. I know a lot of folks are impacted in different ways by what's happened in the last week, and so some of us may have friends, family that may be affected in different ways. We may know people in our community who are affected, but I want to give some space now for us to share a little bit about how we're affected, and we'll have about 5-10 minutes for this. Changing tone a little bit again, and now we're moving to the second piece, the Seeking Shalom. And admittedly, at this moment, this feels more aspirational than real, but we have to start somewhere. So I have 2 different songs I'm going to be playing for our next piece. So kind of to close this part of our service, we have one of our liturgical readings, we'll call it, instead of a prayer. But this is, I think, is a pretty appropriate one. Let us make peace in the world. Let us make peace for us, for all Israel, and for all humanity. And we say, Amen. Nahaseh shalom ba'olam. Nahaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Venoma, amen. We now turn our minds and hearts towards those who need our love, who are ill, who are lonely, who suffer pain or have been wronged. Let us pause as we call out their names. Moses Mast. And also feel free to put the names in the chat too if you prefer.
Michelle Jacoby and Jack Marvin.
Karen Preston.
Hugh Gildia.
In the chat, we have the names of Rosary, Jerry, and Phil. May all who suffer know they are not alone. May they experience refuah shlema, the renewal of body and spirit. Mekom hakoach betokenu, mekorot habraka meke rotenu. May the source of strength that dwells so deep within us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. And now I invite you to stand if you're able to for a version of. Oh, before we do that, actually, if there are names that anyone would like to remember today, please either say them out loud or put them in the chat. I'm remembering Rex Friend and Sadie Mast this morning. Linda Andre was in the chat. Okay, let us stand. May there be a good remembrance and compassion and kindness and love from all the world upon the names of our honorable loved ones who have passed from the world. Let us make a place in our hearts to remember their good names, a good memory, and let us honor them with good deeds. May their memory be a blessing forever. Amen. Would there be someone who would like to read the Hebrew side?
Zikra זיכרון טוב וחסד ורחמים ואחווה מכל העולם, על שמות המכובדי יקרינו שעברים מן העולם. הבה ננצור בליבנו את שמות הטובים וזכרם הטוב ונקרם במעשים טובים, זכרם לברכה לעולם העד. אמן.
Amen. And now it's time for our version of the Iona. It is upon, actually, would someone like to read the English side, please?
I can read it. It is upon us to praise the beauty of the world, even as we fall and rise up, and to continue the work of repairing the world. For within us is the power to build and repair, and it is in our hands to bring about liberation. And one day, humanity will be united and one in purpose.
Someone like to sing or say this in Hebrew?
עלינו לשבח אף לירקת יודע, לפעול ולעמול לתיקון עולם. כי בכוחנו לבנות ולתקן, ובידינו להצמיח גאולה. וביום ההוא יהיה האדם אחד ויהי אותו דור אחד.
Thank you, thank you. And now it is time for the Kiddush. So if you have wine or any other beverage you'd like to bless and enjoy together, now's our time. Raise our glass. The sixth day, and on the seventh day we complete the labor which we perform, and we refrain on the seventh day from all our labor. And we bless the seventh day and set it aside, for we refrain from all the labor which we have to do. Yom Hashishi Betkal Bayom Hashvi'i Hamaleyaka Asher Ne'esta Vatishbot Bayom Hashvi'i Kol Hamelaka Asher Ne'esta Naverek Et Yom Hashvi'i Van Kadesh Oto Kivo Shavatanu Mikol Hamelaka Asher Barkanu La'asot Savri Kavarim Vek Kavarot. Attention, friends, and we raise our glasses to more. Baruch Haor Bakayim Borei Pori Hagafen. And we all say together, Amen. And L'chaim. And now, if you have bread handy, it's time for Hamotzi. I'll get mine out real quick. And so let us lift up our bread and we say, Blessed are those that bring forth bread from the earth. Berukim hamotzim lakem min haaretz. Amen. And our final words. If someone like to read this one, please. I'll get that on the screen.
Let us bless life, the power that is within. Let us give thanks for the good things which we have. Praise be the good friend, because they always help us. Praise love, for it is good, and let friendship endure forever. Let us bless life, first for our ethics that bind our people with goodness continuously. Praise be the good friend, because they always help us. Praise life, for it is good, and let health endure forever. Bless this house, a home to friendship, where we keep this festival with joy and permanence. Praise love, for it is good, and let friendship endure forever.
Amen.
Amen.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm going to turn off the screen share now, and I just want to thank everyone for this. This was a really good time together. We'll leave the Zoom open for all folks who want to continue to talk, but